Shri Radha Krishna Bhagwan Ki Jai. I'm happy to be here with all of you and to see such an enthusiastic audience. Whether you know it or not, your faces are revealing that you are eager to drink divine knowledge. So that's very delightful for any speaker. If you can, do come forward. How many of you are attending my program for the first time? Could you please lift your hands? That's a lot of you. All right. How many of you are attending for the umpteenth time? Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Kamalnabhaya, Namah Kamalamaline, Namah Kamalpadaya, Namaste Kamalekshana, Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam, Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tagvamha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Let us begin the satsang with a chanting. Chanting number 2. आधार है श्री राधा के चरणारविंद,
मेरे तो आधार
तो आधार है श्री राधा के चरणारविंद।
मेरे तो आधार है श्री राधा के चरणारविंद।
राधा की चरणारविंद, श्यामा के चरणारविंद।
राधा के चरणारविंद, श्यामा के चरणारविंद।
राधा की चरणारविंद, श्यामा के चरणारविंद।
राधा के चरणारविंद, श्यामा के चरणारविंद।
श्यामा के चरणारविंद।
श्यामा के चरणारविंद।
राधा के चरणारविंद।
राधा के चरणारविंद।
मेरे तो आधार है श्री 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 राधा के चरणारविंद।
राधा के चरणारविंद, प्यारी 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 के चरणारविंद।
मेरी प्यारी के चरणारविंद।
मेरी प्यारी के चरणारविंद।
सुकुमारी के चरणारविंद।
कुमारी के चरणारविंद।
मेरे तो आधार है श्री राधा 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 के चरणारविंद।
Let's all clap along. Jai Radhe. Jai Shama. चरणारविंद प्यारी के चरणारविंद
श्यामा के 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 चरणारविंद
मेरी श्यामा के चरणारविंद
मेरी प्यारी के चरणारविंद
मेरी प्यारी के चरणारविंद
मेरे तो आधार हैं श्री राधा के चरणारविंद
मेरे तो आधार है श्री राधा के चरणारविंद
मेरे तो आधार हैं श्री राधा के चरणारविंद
मेरे तो आधार है श्री राधा के चरणारविंद
मेरे तो आधार हैं श्री राधा के चरणारविंद
मेरे तो आधार है श्री राधा के चरणारविंद
करुणामयी श्री राधा रानी की Is everybody comfortably situated? We have some space in front if anybody would like to sit here. Is the audio good for everyone? Okay. We have one speaker here. Where's the second speaker? There, all right. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Yes. Okay, so you can all hear me loud and clear? Very good. Please do ensure that your mobile phones are switched off. And then, forgetting the whole world, let's focus our thoughts on today's subject of discussion. You may have read in the news that there is a very severe cyclone that has just hit the east coast of India at speeds of 220 kilometers an hour. In November last year, Hurricane Sandy had hit New York. Apart from that, we've had floodings in northern India. Okay, see this light? You can just this gentleman, just ensure that you don't come in front of the light. Yeah. If we look around in this world, we find everywhere strife, conflict, war, tension, anxiety. There is the unresolved conflict of Iraq and the ongoing war in Afghanistan, the pirates of Somalia, the nuclear threat of North Korea and Iran, the war in Syria, the whole world seems to be in a terrible mess. However, that is very surprising, because the world is created by God, and God is all-knowing, omniscient. He has got unlimited powers. How come He has created such a terrible world? Could He not have done a better job than this? On the other hand, we see the brilliance of God manifesting in so many aspects of His creation. As I landed in Connecticut, Hartford, then went to the residence of Sharda and Murli, and then drove here, I had abundant opportunity to see the tremendous fall colors, from light yellow to delicious pink to velvet and brown and leaves falling on the ground. Whenever I come to this region, that is always a treat for me, because in India we don't have the fall season. But it's amazing how these leaves know when they are to change color and when they are to fall off. The amount of information that was packed into them in that little seed from which the tree grew. That's the brilliance of God. There is, in creation, people eat from silver vessels. That is why the term silverware. Do you know why is this silver considered such a specialty in terms of crockery? Any reason for that, do you know? Silver has this special property, it doesn't catch germs. So it's completely hygienic. You just wash it and it's good to go. However, in South India, they eat from banana leaves. They have banana leaves as plates, and those are considered plates made of gold. Because that property of silver is even more accentuated in the banana leaf. It just doesn't catch germs. Wipe it once with water and it's good to go. So the brilliance of God is manifesting in so many ways in this world. We have silk. Big scholars who in India who do ritualistic practices, worship ceremonies, they wear silk clothes while doing these ceremonies. Silk also has the same property of not catching germs. What is the silk? It is the excreta of the silkworm. Ordinarily, excreta of any animal is despicable, and the excreta of the silkworm, Pandits wear clothes made of it. In other words, it's God's amazing creation that we have. Nowadays, of course, this is the era of SMS and WhatsApp. Few decades ago it was the snail mail, but a few centuries ago it was the pigeon mail. Messages were sent via homing pigeons. These pigeons, homing pigeons, Let's say there's a pigeon that lives in this house. You take it 1,000 miles away and release it. It would come back not only to the same city, same house, but same window with the message tied to its leg. It had such a tremendous GPS fitted into its brain, it knew exactly where it was being taken. It did not have to press my old destinations on the GPS. So the miracle of God is manifesting in every atom of His creation. We have the eagle. It's been bestowed such tremendous eyesight. It's flying so high in the sky you can't see it from the ground, but it can see you. Not only can it see you, it can see everything that's happening in the 50-mile region. And if any creature stops moving, the eagle detects. In this living being, movement has stopped. It seems to have died. Let me go down to eat it. And it descends. Imagine the power of its vision. And similarly, who can match the nose of the dogs? Where the police fails, they release the dogs and they walk after them. Sir, why are you walking behind this dog? You're a policeman? Yeah, I am a policeman, but I don't have the competence of this dog. What it can do, I cannot do. So if God has got such tremendous power, there is no limit to it. If He wanted, He could have changed His designs teeny weeny bit. We people are worried, eat hygienic, drink hygienic, or you'll have diarrhea, dysentery. These animals eat from the ground. They drink from the pools, the lakes. God has designed them in such a manner that nothing will happen to them. So similarly, if God wanted, He could have adjusted the design of this world so there would be no hurricanes, no typhoons, no tornadoes, no cyclones, no tsunamis. But when He permitted the world to be like this, there is some perfection in that imperfection as well. What is that perfection? He has created it perfectly for the evolution of our soul. The soul is on a journey, and this journey did not begin upon birth, nor is it going to end upon death. It's a journey that's continuing from many lifetimes. We are all in this journey, evolving, learning, developing. And God's world has been created perfectly for our evolution. So the world is not defective. The world is perfect. It is as perfect as the Creator Himself. The Ishopanishad says, Isha vasyamidagvam sarvam yatkincha jagatyan jagat. This world is the veritable form of God. Why? It's been created by God. But what is the material from which God created the world? Now we all understand, we all admit that God created the world. But from which material did He create it? Where did that material come from? Would anybody like to volunteer an answer? God is the Creator. What is the material from which He created? The Vedas say He created it from His own being. Just like a spider creates a web, It does not take extraneous objects. Unlike the bee which makes the beehive, the spider takes the web out of itself. And then, occasionally, it withdraws the web back into itself. Similarly, God is the possessor of infinite energies within His own being. When He decides to create, He manifests these energies, manipulates them to create the earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intellect, ego. And when He wishes to dissolve the world, He absorbs it all back into Himself. So God has created this world out of Himself, and He is pervading every aspect of it. That makes this world perfect. But living in this world, we are experiencing tension, anxiety, fear, stress. What is the reason for our experience in this perfect world of God? The reason is our own mind. Our experience of the world is filtered through the perceptions of our mind. Hence, it is the mind that is creating the perceptions of happiness, distress, fear, anxiety, and every other kind of human emotion. John Milton, the Western philosopher, had said, "The mind is a place of its own, and in itself can make heaven out of hell, and hell out of heaven." This mind is so powerful. Sitting in heaven, if the mind is disturbed, it can make us experience the miseries of hell. And if the mind is calm, composed, and equanimous, sitting in hell, it can make us relish the delightful pleasure of heaven. Hence, the problem is not with the world. The problem is with our own mind. When we experience distress, we immediately look for defects in the world. This is the problem, that person is the problem, the situation is the problem, the government shutdown is the problem, the Republicans and Democrats are the problem, Manmohan Singh is the problem, Kali Yuga is the problem, Maya is the problem. You see, our intellect tells us the problem is outside. And the Vedas tell us the problem is inside. Chittameva hi sansaras tat prayatnena shodhayet. Your endeavor, your first and foremost focus should be, how can I correct my own mind? भूल न जाना इस नुस्खे को, लाभ अनेक उठाओगे, जैसा मन को बना सकोगे वैसे ही बन जाओगे. मन के जीते जीत है, मन के हारे हार. 2000 years ago, Jagat Guru Shankaracharya had said, Jagat jitam kena. Who shall conquer the world? So he did not say the person with superior nuclear technology. He said manohiyena. That person who has conquered his or her mind by virtue of his or her superior consciousness will influence the world with those ideas. So the focus is on the inside. Chittameva hi sansaras tat prayatnena shodhayet. Endeavor to cleanse and purify the mind. Of course, We are not at that highly elevated state that we can just adjust the mind by itself. Hence, we must not neglect adjusting the external circumstances as well. However, we must remember the importance of the mind. Just like if the clock rings, your mind gets disturbed, no doubt. At present, there is this connection, but we want to work on the mind and bring it to that point where it will not get disturbed. That is the goal of our human life. At that goal, we will reach God realization. So, the aim of spirituality is to purify our mind. This mind is a machine that is constantly generating thoughts. Modern medical science has not really as yet understood the nature of thoughts. They've understood the brain to some extent and they've got various MRIs, etc. But the connection between the brain and the mind is still nebulous in neurology. What is these thoughts? They measure the gamma waves, alpha waves. They realize when somebody goes into meditation, the waveforms emanating from the brain change. Again, we take recourse to these Vedic knowledge, and the Vedas tell us that the mind is not the brain. The brain is the hardware. The mind is the software. It's a subtle machine that is fitted inside us. In fact, they go to the extent of saying that the mind is not here, the mind is here. Hence, in love and in hate, you experience pain in the heart. It's the mind there. So this mind is constantly, because we've become intellectualized, we feel that I am here. Somebody feels I am here. Depending on what is active, the heart or the intellect. So this mind is constantly generating thoughts. And these thoughts impact us. Every thought impacts our personality. If you keep on thinking angry thoughts, it will start reflecting on the face. And people will look and say, oh, he looks like an angry fellow. Those thoughts chiseled his personality. That's the power of thoughts. You look at somebody else and say he looks like a simple person. You can trust him. You look at somebody else and say, don't trust him. There's something wrong there. So these thoughts are so powerful that they forge our entire personality. And the whole world realizes this. Hence, everybody is endeavoring to correct those thoughts. If you look for solutions in Amazon.com, most of you have visited, right? The biggest bookshelf of the world. There's a whole segment of books called self-help books. I'll tell you how to correct this, how to improve this, how to become like this, how not to become like this. Self-help books by the hundreds of thousands. So everybody realizes this and everybody is trying to correct the mind. But in the spiritual path, there is a very simple solution to correcting the mind. It's kind of short-circuiting all these problems. What is that? Rather than grappling with all defects, you engage the mind in a higher pursuit. When the mind is focused on the highest, the lowest shall fall off by itself. And that is the goal of spirituality, to latch on to the highest with the mind. That is the aim of sadhana. There is a story, now I don't remember if I have related to you in Connecticut, but nevertheless, there's no harm in hearing it again. There was a sadhu who used to live in Tibet, a Buddhist monk called Milarepa. He's been very famous. So in the nearby village, this rumor spread that Milarepa has got a Siddh mantra. And if you chant the mantra, you get siddhis or mystic abilities. So one villager came to his ashram, his monastery, and said, "Oh sage, we have heard you have got a Siddh mantra by the chanting of which we will get mystic abilities. Please give it to me." Milarepa said, "Sir, I don't chant any such mantras for mystic abilities. That is not the teaching of the Buddha. My priority is to purify the chit, the mind. Sat chitta pariyodapanam etam buddhanushasanam." So the villager said, "You've got the mantra, but you don't want to give it to me. I will not leave your ashram until I have the mantra." He sat down there. 24 hours went by. The sage now was getting a little disturbed. There was impediment in his sadhana, spiritual practice, he perceived. So he said, "You are disturbing me. Can you not leave the ashram?" He said, "I am willing to die, but I will not go without that mantra." So Milarepa said, "How to get rid of him now?" He said, "All right, come, I am giving you the mantra." The Siddh mantra is Om. Really? So if I chant Om, I'll get siddhis, mystic abilities? You will. But there's one condition. Don't bring any monkey to your mind. What do you mean, monkey to my mind? I mean, don't start thinking of monkeys. Otherwise, all your chanting will become useless. He said, "Oh sage, till today I have never thought of monkeys. Why should I start thinking of them now?" Milarepa said, "I have warned you. Now after that it's up to you." So he went off from there delighted that I have got a Siddh mantra, and if I chant this I will get siddhis. The only condition is that I should not think of monkeys. So he went off from there thinking, chanting, Om, Om, don't think of monkeys, Om, don't think of monkeys, don't think of monkeys, Om. Now when you tell the mind not to do something, what do you think the mind does? Exactly that, right? So he started thinking, is there a monkey behind me? No. Oh God, I brought a monkey to my mind. What did I do? All my chanting became useless. All right, this time I'll not bring any monkey to the mind. Om, Om, don't think of monkeys, don't think of monkeys. Om, 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 don't think of monkeys. He said, is there any monkey walking on the street? No. That was a human being. Oh God, again I brought a monkey to my mind. Now he started scolding his mind. And the more he scolded his mind, the more disturbed it started becoming. Until he started finding monkeys everywhere. He said, my mind is really playing tricks now. All right, I'll go home and I will take a nice bath, and then with a fresh mind I will chant Om Om and not think of monkeys. So when he went into his washroom, he was taking a bath when he thought he saw a monkey there. Where did you come from? His wife said, my dear husband, who has come into the washroom? A monkey. Monkey? No, not into the washroom, into my mind. So he had his bath. Then he went off. He said, all right, I'll go to my puja room, my worship room, and I will take the mala, the rosary beads, and just chant Om Om and not think of monkeys. When he reached his puja room, he thought there was a monkey sitting on the altar saying Om Om. So he gave up. He went back to Milarepa. And he said, O sage, this mantra that you gave to me, please take it back. Give it to me in my next life. But don't tell me that I should not think of monkeys, otherwise I will definitely think of them. So this is the human mind. You tell the mind not to be attached. So the mind says, all right, so I should not be attached. What am I attached to? I am attached to ice creams. Okay, so I should not be attached. I should give up attachment to ice creams. Now each time you think of giving up attachment, you will bring the ice cream to the mind. Your attachment will only increase. How then do you control this mind? There are different theories. Even in spirituality, there are different theories. In general, there are two kinds of theories. There's a consensus of two kinds. One theory states that you kill the mind. The mind is troubling you, kill the mind. It'll be over. Man Kumar, to beda par. And the second theory says, don't kill the mind. Just divert the mind to God. This is the path of devotion, the path of divine love. It's just like if you are driving a bicycle. Now you are pedaling and the bicycle is moving forward. You wish to stop the forward motion. You have two options. Either you can press the brakes and try and maintain the balance. But how long is that going to work? Not for too long. If you just press the brakes, it's an unstable condition. And if you turn the handle, the bike will very conveniently stop the forward movement. You have diverted it. Similarly, in the path of divine love, we don't stop the mind. We take the mind to God. We make the mind divine. The Bhagavad Gita says, Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He says, I am beyond the three modes of material nature. I am divine. If you absorb your mind in me, your mind will also become divine. So this is a simple process of curing the mind. What do? You fill your mind with divine love. Fill your mind with devotion. And those saints who were able to do it, what did they say? Siya Ram Maya Sab Jag Jani Karo Pranam Jori Juga Pani. Hanuman says, I see the form of God everywhere. His internal world has been made divine, so the external world is also appearing divine to him. These saints lived in the same world that we live in. And living in this world, they were able to see God in every object and in every person. How come? Because they made their own mind divine. Hence the gopis say, Jit dekho tit shamamai hai. Wherever we look, we see the form of Lord Krishna. So, through logic, through scriptures, through the examples of the saints, we understand this is a process that works. If only we can make our mind divine through devotion, through divine love. If that be the case, then we need to understand what is this devotion, what is this divine love. So let us address the second part of the discourse today with a fresh mind. Let's do a little chanting and then we'll talk about devotion and divine love. Chanting number 6. Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai
Govind Jai Jai
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय
Radha Ramana Hari Govind Jai Jai.
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
Hari Ram, Ram Ram, Hari Hari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki. So far we have discussed the importance of correcting our mind, the possible ways of correcting it, and the ease with which the mind gets corrected through the process of devotion. So this process of devotion is considered the easiest. Otherwise there are so many yogas. There is Hatha Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, there is Gyan Yoga, but the easiest, Saral Sukhad Marag Yahi Bhai, Bhagati Mori Purana Shruti Gai. The easiest yoga that everybody can do is Bhakti Yoga. So let's talk about this Bhakti Yoga. How does devotion develop? Supposing we wish to go by this path of devotion, divine love, how do we treat this path? What is the journey like? Just like if you wish to travel from here to New York, in India, on the roadside you have these milestones that keep appearing. I don't see them in USA, but in India you have the milestones. So these inform you, all right, you've covered so much distance, so much is left. And that's important for you to know that you are on the right path and you are progressing. It's an encouragement, it helps you time yourself. So similarly, as we travel on this path of devotion towards God, are there any such milestones that will appear? That will tell us that the journey is being accomplished properly? We are on the right path? In the process called Ashtanga Yoga, we have 8 steps. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharan, Dhyan and Samadhi. Some of you have heard of this, right? The eightfold process. So these 8 steps to Samadhi, or perfection. If you go by Gyan Yoga, the yoga of knowledge, it has got its different 8 steps. Vivek, Vairagya, Shamadhi, Shat Sampatti, Mumukshutva, Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan, Samadhi. Now, like I said, Bhakti is the easiest and most effective. And the fact is, Bhakti is included in these other paths. Because no path is complete without divine love. So even if you go by Ashtanga Yoga or Gyan Yoga, you need to add Bhakti to it. So this path of Bhakti is relevant to all of us. So what are the milestones in devotion? How does it begin? How does it start growing? How does it ripen? This has been described in a scripture called the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. It says, Adau Shraddha Tatah Sadhu Sango Tha Bhajana Kriya Tato Nartha Nivrittis Syat Tato Nishtha Ruchis Tata Atha Saktis Tato Bhava Tatah Prema Vidhanchati Sadhakana Mayam Premna Pradurbhave Bhavet Krama. He says up to Prem or divine love, there are 9 stages or 8 stages, and then the 9th is divine love. So that divine love is God's ultimate energy or power. If anybody receives that power, God becomes enslaved by that devotee. The whole world is under him, and he is under divine love. So we see in the various leelas or pastimes of Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, how the devotees enslaved them through love. Mother Yashoda ties Krishna up with a rope. Lord Krishna has tied us all up in the ropes of the material energy. How can anybody tie him up? But it is that Mother Yashoda's love that he subjects himself to her and permits her to tie him up because she possesses divine love. So he says, Aham bhakta paradhino, otherwise I am supremely independent. But if somebody has this divine love, I am a servant of that devotee. So that is the ultimate. But how does that? I was just telling you the final goal to get divine love, but how do you reach there? How do you begin in the first place? So these 8 steps are described in Bhakti Yoga. So the first step is Adau Shraddha. The journey begins with faith. Somehow or the other, you develop faith. There is the spiritual side which is important to cultivate. There is a God who has created this world. Why is faith necessary? Because in the spiritual journey, presently, you can neither see the soul nor see God. So you need faith. And if somebody says, Guruji, first show me God, then I will begin. That's not possible. God has his conditions, which he has stated in the Bible. He says, blessed are the pure at heart, for they shall see God. You will see God when your heart is purified. That condition cannot be sidestepped. So we cannot say in the beginning of the journey, show me God, then I will begin. We need this leap of faith. And many people are not willing to make that leap of faith. Particularly those who cultivate scientific knowledge. Then they say, I don't have blind faith. You show me God, then I will believe him. Karl Marx had said, I have got no problem believing in God, provided I can dissect him in the laboratory. Now imagine how big a laboratory you would need to place God on the table. And even if you managed it, Karl Marx would be like a mosquito in front of a mountain there. But he says, I want direct proof. So, the fact is, those scientists who say that we are not willing to take this leap of faith, they are also taking leaps of faith on the other side. They are believing what their senses tell them is correct. What their mind thinks is right. What their intellect comprehends is correct. They are trusting their senses, mind and intellect. Now these could also deceive us. Ultimately, the senses are not perfect. If you place a spoon in the water, it seems crooked. Is it crooked? Of course not. It's our eyes that are deceiving due to the refraction of the light. You take the Newton's disc of 7 colors and spin it. It seems white. Is it white? No. Our eyes are cheating us. So our eyes, our senses cheat us. Our intellect is limited in its understanding. What science knew 2 centuries ago to be correct was disproved in the beginning of the last century. What it knew in the last century to be correct has been completely rejected in many places in this century. So how do we know that what we accept today as knowledge will not be proved to be ignorance tomorrow? But the scientist is willing to take that leap of faith. I believe this to be true. So everybody places their faith somewhere or the other. Nobody is without faith. I've heard of the Swedish scientist who kept a horseshoe for good luck. His colleague came and said, "What is this?" He said, "It's a horseshoe." "You, a rationalist, you keep horseshoes for good luck? Come on." So he said, No, but the person who gave it to me, he said that whether you believe in it or you don't believe in it, it will still give you good luck. That's why I'm keeping it. Who is without belief? That person who says, "I don't believe in the shivling, I don't believe in these deities, stone images." You ask him to place his foot on the shivling and stand on it. He says, "Arey nahi Baba, it might just be true. 1% is a doubt in my heart. I will not do it." My acquaintance in Kolkata used to tell me, "Swamiji, when the elections come, then all these Communist Party leaders, Marxist leaders, they all come to the temple of Kali Ma to offer bhog to the Divine Mother. Although they are declaring all the year round there is no God." So who is without faith? Now somehow or the other, some people developed faith in God, in the spiritual knowledge, and the journey began. That first step of faith begins the journey. So the first step is faith. And then when you begin the journey, the second step is called sadhu sang. You start associating with the saints. You come to satsang or spiritual congregations like this one. Satsang is associating with the truth. So what is the truth? God. That association that takes our mind to God is satsang. So satsang has been accorded great importance in the Vedas. Says it's a powerful process. Why? First of all, satsang bestows upon you knowledge of God. And when you get knowledge, your faith comes on a firm footing. It was one thing to have hearsay and blind faith. But blind faith is not strong enough for us to complete the whole journey. So it needs to be supported with solid knowledge. And through satsang, we get the understanding what is the soul, who or what is God, what is our relationship with Him, what is karma, what is jnana, what is bhakti, what is this process. So all this theory becomes clear. That is important even in the world. If you wish to do practical, first get your theoretical knowledge clear. So satsang helps us understand and move ahead from mere blind faith to faith based upon understanding. But then this satsang, so that's the second step. So people who come to the satsang, some of them go to the third step as well. And those who do satsang are of two types. One are jigyasu and the second are pipasu. One are those who are curious. They wish to know. Hence they come to hear, because the desire to know has been aroused. So they come to satsang. Let me find out. My relatives, my friends are going. Let me find out what is it all about. Why do they find so much of interest in satsang? So the desire to know. And some of them are not satisfied merely with hearing. They also want the divine experience. In other words, the hunger for God has been aroused. See, hearing is good, but it is not enough. If the husband comes home and tells the wife, I'm really hungry, do you have something to eat? The wife says, all right, let me tell you. This is how the jalebi is made. This is how the samosa is made. Yes, made very well. This is how the dokla is made, and this is how the shrikhand. Arey, that's all very well, but are you going to give me something? Wait, let me bring the cookbook. All right, let me tell you how this is made and that is made. The husband will say, are you crazy? Am I going to eat this cookbook? Now you make your recipe practical, go into the kitchen and make something, then my hunger will be satiated. Similarly, if we keep on just hearing, this is how you realize God, this is how you purify the mind, and you go on hearing and hearing and hearing, and we don't practically do it, that will not work. I remember about 15 years ago, I did a long lecture series in Kolkata. So it is one of the big cities of India, and so a lot of satsang takes place. Lots of speakers, swamis, pandits giving various lectures all over the city. So my program was going on. About 4,000 or 5,000 people used to come. So one person came to meet me. So he said, Swamiji, we are very blessed in Calcutta. Why? All the year round we have satsang. Your discourse takes place from 7 to 9. From 5 to 7 I go for that other discourse. And in the morning from 6 to 8 there's a third satsang for which I go. So when your program gets over, the next program I will go for. And the other one gets over, I'll go for the next one. So all 365 days of the year I hear satsang 3 times a day. So I said, then you must have become God realized. Where is the question of becoming God realized? If you just keep on hearing, it will take us only thus far but not further. So some people, by their sanskars, by their tendencies, accumulated merits of many lives, develop the hunger. They want the experience of God. And then they move to the third step. And this is called bhajana kriya. Now they practically engage in the devotional processes. Because they came to know from satsang how to engage in devotion, and they practically engage in it. So I would say that majority of you have reached at least this third step. You are practically engaging in devotion. Now in this, we had discussed this during the program, the week-long program. But the important thing is there are varieties of ways you can engage in devotion. Chanting, worshipping, praying, meditating, etc. However, one process is absolutely compulsory. And what is that? Remembering God with your mind. Because the mind is to be purified, and hence the mind must be engaged in God. If we leave that point out, then our devotion becomes merely physical. Doing the Aarti Jai Jagadish Hare, Swami Jai Jagadish Hare, and you're thinking in the mind, when will this get over and I will go home, and there's so many things to do at home. God says it doesn't work because you have not taken your mind to Him. It was the mind which was to be purified. You have kept the mind in the world. This is multiplication in zeros. You multiply 0 by 1,000, you will get 0. You multiply million, 0 by a million, you will get 0. So in our devotional process, no matter what you do, whether it's taking a rosary bead or chanting or worshipping, you have to ensure that you take the mind to God. And how do you take the mind to God? Just revising this point. How do you take the mind to God? Anybody? I had given a very simple technique. You bring the image of God into your mind. Or bring the image of God in front of you. Take your mind to His form. Now you are immediately connected. You immediately have a basis upon which to rest the mind. And then you enhance it by meditating upon His wonderful qualities, your relationship with Him, etc. You can go on, take it infinite forms, but you start off with a Rupa Dhyan, bringing His image to you. So, we engage in devotion. In this devotion, another important point to keep in mind. What is that? Make service your goal. In other words, learn to love Him for His happiness. God is not a cosmic bellboy. Many people, think that God is a cosmic bellboy. We will press the button and He will come. Oh God, please give me this. Oh God, this is what I want. So that is another kind of devotion, in which we think, what can I get from God? But that is not divine love. Divine love is that in which the desire is not to take. The desire is to give. The desire is not what can I get, how do I accomplish my happiness. The desire is what can I give, not what God can do for me, what I can do for God. I think there was a famous American president who said something like that. Think not what the country can do for you. Think what you can do for the country. So that giving, that desire to give develops with the service attitude. So in your devotional practice, keep this focus on service. It's very important to purify the mind. So keep taking your mind to God and keep trying to serve Him with your body, your mind, your possessions. And then we will reach to the fourth stage. What is this fourth stage? It is called Anarth Nivritti. Anarth Nivritti means the impurities in the mind, now they start getting eliminated. In other words, the process of purification starts taking place. This is natural. If somebody is sick and takes medicine, the illness starts getting cured. Similarly, we have the disease of Bhava Rog. We are all in material consciousness, and as we take the medicine of devotion, this disease gets washed away. The heart starts getting cleansed. Now, how do you cleanse the heart? Remove anger, remove greed, remove hatred, remove stress. Now, either you keep grappling with the defects or focus on getting that divine love. Either you aim at removing the darkness or you aim on bringing in the light. When you bring in the light, the darkness goes away by itself. So similarly, as we attach our mind to God, if it has got 25% attached, it is 25% detached from the world. And if it is detached 25%, it's cleansed 25%. Now if there is a 25% impetus for anger, you will not feel angry. You will eat it up. Why? That much of cleansing has taken place. And if there is a 50% cause for anger, you will become 25% angry. And then you attach your mind 75% to God. It is naturally 75% detached from the world. And in that case, if there is a 75% reason for anger, you will not experience anger because you accomplished that much of purification of the mind. So as we are engaging in bhajana kriya, the mind is getting purified. This is the fourth stage, anartha nivritti. Now most of you are in this path and you are in this stage, cleansing of the heart. This then, when this cleansing takes place to a great extent, we then reach the fifth stage, and that is called nishtha. Nishtha means firm faith. See, as you go along the journey, your faith, which was tender in the beginning, it starts deepening. Your devotion starts deepening. Your detachment starts, all these parameters of spiritual progress, they all start enhancing. So now you have reached the stage where the faith has become staunch, firm. Why? Because now you are getting the experience. The heart has got cleansed 90%. So you are now experiencing that bliss of God. You have all had that experience when with great focus you engaged in your meditation, in your devotion, you got a bliss from inside. Today I felt so nice. Right? It's just like if you play tennis or cricket. When you hit that ball with the bat and the racket in the right place, with the right timing, you don't need to look. You know, this was a perfect shot. Your feeling tells you, I really enjoyed it. So similarly, now when the mind is getting attached to God, you're getting a little bit, not the full bliss, but a little bit of bliss of God. And that is what our soul was yearning for. And now it is coming. So the confirmation comes very strongly. Yes. So that faith which was initially hearsay, Arey, Swamiji has said you do this, all right, let me do it. But now your own experience is confirming. Hence the sage Narad said, Bhakti does not need an external proof. What is the proof of Bhakti? It doesn't need an external proof. Your experience will prove it to you. Supposing you are hungry. You say, Swamiji, I am hungry. I say, prove it. Prove that you are hungry. How do I prove that I am hungry? My feeling tells me. Okay, here, have a full feast. I am satiated. Prove it. What do I prove? My feeling tells me so strongly, the hunger is gone. So that's the proof, right? Similarly, our soul is yearning. It doesn't know what it's yearning for, but it is yearning. And now when we've engaged in this process, that bliss of the soul is coming into experience. And that is why the faith becomes strong. See, this faith will go on increasing. And in the end, it will become so strong that the whole world will not be able to shake that soul 1 inch. These God-realized saints, the whole world told them, no, you're wrong, you should not do this. They were not moved 1 inch from their views, their beliefs. Their faith was so strong. So it's not that all of a sudden it came. It kept growing slowly. So now in this 5th stage, it is characterized by this firm faith called Nishtha. And then comes the 6th stage. This is called Ruchi. Ruchi means the sadhak, that aspirant now relishes devotion. The relish of devotion is being particularly experienced. God is an ocean of bliss, but presently we are not experiencing Him. Why? Because our senses, mind, intellect are not yet purified. Just like if somebody gets hepatitis, jaundice. Now, how do you cure jaundice? In India, if somebody gets jaundice, what do they tell that patient? What should he take? Sugarcane juice, right? Sugarcane juice. So the patient is given sugarcane juice. And you ask him, how does it taste? Sweet? He says it's bitter. Bitter? But everybody says sugarcane is sweet. How come it's bitter to you? You know, I've got hepatitis, so my taste buds have got distorted. Sugarcane is appearing bitter to them. Similarly, our senses, mind, intellect are material. So God seems a bitter experience. You know, too much of devotion. See, you all are relishing the lecture. I'll tell you an actual experience in LA this year itself. We have in JK Yoga a life membership scheme. If somebody wishes, they support the activities by becoming a life member. So one husband and wife, they decided that they would like to be life members. So I said, tomorrow, we will offer you a shawl, as acknowledgement. So he told his daughter, he had a teenage daughter, that you please come and together we will receive the shawl, the whole family. So when I came to sit for the lecture, the three of them were standing there, anticipating I would offer the shawl. So I did not know what had transpired. I said that, I'll give you the shawl at the end of the lecture. So they sat down. Now the daughter became so upset. At the end I called them, but later on they said, Swamiji, she was so upset, you forced me to sit and hear Swamiji's lecture. They said, we didn't know he's going to give the shawl at the end. No, how could you do such a thing to me? In other words, it was the worst kind of torture. Sitting for Swamiji's lecture, how could you do this to me? So why is that lecture seeming so terrible? It's just like the sugarcane seems terrible to the jaundice patient. The material mind rebels. Alright, then instead of the lecture, should we sit and watch the television? There's a latest Bollywood, Hollywood movie that's playing. Of course, let's see it. Every pore is delighted on the idea of seeing a movie. But as that jaundice patient keeps taking sugarcane, first they have to force, then slowly the disease gets cured. And it comes in perception. Oh, so tasty. So similarly, first you force yourself. Come on, engage in devotion. Do it every day for 1 hour. No, the mind says, no, I would rather keep sleeping in bed. No, come on, you must do it. So we force the mind, and then slowly, that bliss, that relish comes. So when one starts relishing that devotion so much, more than anything in the world, that is called ruchi. So that is the 6th stage. And then after that comes the 7th stage. This is called asakti or attachment. So previously the attachment was in the world, and now the attachment has become to God. The mind is constantly running to God. The mind has got attached to God, His names, His forms, His virtues, His pastimes, His abodes, His saints. The mind is running there. This asakti. And what happens in asakti? That intellect gets surrendered in attachment. Like a drunkard is attached to alcohol, so he doesn't consider this alcohol is bad for you, never mind. People say, your wife is getting troubled, why do you go after that bottle? He says, let her get troubled, I want the bottle. But your business is getting ruined, let it get ruined, I want the bottle. But the doctor says your liver is getting damaged, let it get damaged. Just like the cigarette packets, they have this warning out there. The Surgeon General of America warns that cigarette smoking is injurious to health. That's what it says. Does it say that? Yeah, when I was growing up in India, some of these popular science magazines would come from America, and the back page would have the Marlboro advertisement. So along at the bottom would be the Surgeon General's warning. But that cigarette smoker sees cigarette smoking is injurious to health. He says, never mind, keep on smoking. Because his mind has got attached, so the intellect is surrendered. Now, the mind has got attached to God. So the intellect is surrendered there. Now one doesn't consider. If somebody says, you engage in devotion, you will go to hell. He says, what to do? It's become my nature. Somebody asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why do you engage in bhakti? He said, it's my nature. Like we breathe. Now somebody says, why do you first take the breath inside, then you take it outside, then you take it inside, then you take it outside? Just keep it inside or keep it outside. You will say, if I don't, I will feel suffocated. It's my nature. Similarly, devotion has become a nature. Now there is no consideration, what will I get, what will I lose. It's become the nature. But the journey is still not complete. The spiritual practice is still going on. And that leads us to the 8th stage, the penultimate one. That is called Bhav Bhakti. So what is this Bhav Bhakti? It is one step before Prem. Prem, or receiving divine love, is like the rising of the sun. You see, when the sun rises, the night is dispelled. Without the sunrise, you can never dispel the night. You fit all the lights around in town, the night will not go. Let all the stars be visible in the sky, the night will still not go. It may be a full moon night, the night will still not go. And one sun arises, the night has gone. That's the power of the sun. So it is only God's power that can dispel the material illusion. But even before the sun rises, let's say the sun rises at 7 a.m. in Connecticut, let's say, at 6:45 the night has vanished. A few rays of the sun are enough to dispel the night. Similarly, as yet divine love has not manifest in the heart, but a few rays come. And the result is the heart is cleansed so much that it is called Bhav Bhakti. Now let me tell you a few, just to give you a glimpse of what happens in Bhav Bhakti. That aspirant in the stage of Bhav Bhakti yearns. Let somebody criticize me. May I receive oppositions and difficulties, so that my heart becomes quickly cleansed and I rise further. That aspirant is yearning, like we are yearning, let somebody praise me. So nice. Now it's in the reverse. The whole day has gone and nobody has criticized me. How bad. I have not been able to progress today. That aspiration has got ignited to such an extent. That's Bhav Bhakti. Let more difficulties come my way quickly. Sri Aurobindo, he says, my Lord, please don't be lenient with me. Take your sword and cut out all the knots of my stupidity from every fiber of my being. This is his aspiration. I wish to purify. It has become so deep. This is Bhav Bhakti. But the journey is still not complete. He keeps on doing sadhana and finally reaches the stage of Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Complete surrender. Just like the philosopher's stone, it converts iron into gold. But if you bring it close to iron, it doesn't convert into gold. Bring it even closer, still no gold. A hair's breadth gap, still it doesn't show its power. When it touches the iron, it makes it gold. Similarly, the soul is going towards God, taking the mind towards God more and more and more. And finally, Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Complete surrender has taken place. At that stage, then the divine grace intervenes. And the soul receives that divine love. So, that journey becomes complete at that stage. So when the soul then receives divine love, the bonds of material existence, they are just cut asunder. This karmas, accumulated karmas of endless lifetimes, they are burned. And that those ignorance of Maya is finished. And that divine love of God, divine knowledge of God, divine bliss of God are all attained. How? By receiving that divine love power by His grace. So this is a brief description of this path to God realization. Shri Radha Krishna Bhagwan Ki. A guest book is being passed around. If you would like, you can enter your name on it, and we will be sending you a weekly newsletter with some videos and some articles and information about our website and YouTube videos, etc. The latest from our side in this direction is an application, an app. So JK Yog also has released its app on iPhone. Alright, so if you are an iPhone user, from the iTunes store, you can download the JK Yog app, JKYOG. It's a free download, and that immediately will give you access to all the YouTube videos, the podcasts, etc., and a wealth of other information. And slowly we'll be enhancing that app further. And those who are the Android users, you will have to wait a little, and probably in May, June, we will be ready with the Android app as well. Apart from that, we have some books. Okay, just show me that Bhagavad Gita, Essence of Hinduism, the yoga book and spirituality book. Because we have so many people who are participating in our programs for the first time, let me just let you know about these books. So this is a commentary written on the Bhagavad Gita. It's written in a simple, easy to understand way. So if you've tried reading the Gita in the past and given up, I can't understand this, it's my guarantee that you will not only understand, but you will also enjoy reading it. And this is a book on questions and answers in spirituality. Okay, so we have so many questions and we want answers for them. So I gathered the common questions that people have. There are about 125 questions here, and they have been answered simply, logically, to help you become free of doubt so you can move ahead quickly on this path. And this is a book, Yoga for the Body, Mind and Soul. So we teach 5 sciences in this JK Yoga system. The physical postures, the breathing exercises, meditation, relaxation and diet. So all these 5 sciences, you'll find them covered in this book. And this is an introductory book that I have written to make these teachings easily accessible to everyone, to Westerners, to the youth, people who would like a basic primer. So all the basic concepts is called Essence of Hinduism. So you're welcome to take a look at these books. Today we would like to thank Uma and Surendra for having hosted this program. And it's wonderful to see so many people have come for this program. That's right. It's indeed a great pleasure to see your interest and enthusiasm. And it's been a pleasure speaking to you all on this topic. This time I have come for just a day. So I've been touring USA for the last 6 months with week-long programs in every city. So we did about 27, 28 cities. And then we had 4 different retreats. And some of you came for the East Coast retreat. We had a West Coast retreat, Midwest and Texas. And in this last 1 month before I leave for India, I'm just traveling around to every city for 1 day, 2 days, meeting the devotees. So today I'm here, tomorrow I'm going to Boston, and then the day after to DC, the day after to Pittsburgh, the day after to New York, then New Jersey. It's going to go like that. And 31st, I'm then going to India. So we'll be back again in mid-March or late March to begin another tour, and look forward to meeting you all there when I come again. Now in India, we are going to have 2 programs. One is a retreat with Kripaluji Maharaj. So many of you are hearing his lectures on television. So many people have been desiring to be with him, to have his darshan. So I would recommend this for those who are regularly participating in the Satsang group. So if you'd like to have his darshan, to be with him from December 26th to January 1st. Alright, you can come for as many days as you like. So we will be there with him in his main ashram, which is his birthplace as well, Mangar, close to Allahabad. You'll get the information from our website. And it's a free retreat, you need to register. And the second retreat will be conducted by myself in South India. So this will be in Rameshwaram. So it's in Rameshwaram is one of the 4 holy dhams of India. So in the north we have Badrikashram, in the west Dwarka Puri, in the east Jagannath Puri, and in the south Rameshwaram. So we have organized a 3-day retreat in Rameshwaram, along with visit to the holy places there. This is going to be January 14, 15, 16. So this program is open to all of you. Whoever wishes, you're welcome to come and participate. And that's it, I guess. And we'd like to give you a good news that over the last 5 years, J.K. Yog has been endeavoring to spread this knowledge in America, and we've got about 25 congregational centers in different cities. But the desire of many devotees was that now we should move ahead with the permanent center. So with the help of the support of devotees, we have purchased a beautiful piece of land in Dallas. So this is right in the city, just by Plano, in the city of Allen. It's a beautiful piece of land in a densely populated residential area with a large Indian population as well. And we intend to build a wonderful center out there. So the good news is that the land is already registered in our name, and we're now moving ahead with the approvals, etc. And when I come back to USA, that is the time we will have a groundbreaking ceremony which we call Bhumi Pujan. We will give you information about it, and you're all welcome to join us for this first project that J.K. Yog is venturing on, first permanent project. That's it.
Radhe Radhe. On behalf of J.K. Yog, I would like to thank you all for coming tonight and attending this wonderful discourse by Swamiji. I would just like to inform you that like he told us about the importance of having satsang. We have a J.K. Yog satsang, weekly satsang that goes on at various homes of the devotees, and it happens every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. We can give you the details of where it is through emails, etc. So I would encourage all of you to attend the satsang if possible. We also have a Bal Mukund Center in Cromwell, Connecticut, where children are given this knowledge and a lot of other activities for children every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon time. And a lot of kids who have come here, they already participate. A lot of people, help us with running that center. And we have a Bhagavad Gita study circle also that goes on along with the satsang, which happens every other week. So along with the satsang, after the satsang from 4 to 6 to 7, we have the Bhagavad Gita study circle where we discuss the book and we read the book and discuss, and we have that going. So I would encourage all those who would like to participate, please do so.
One more great way of remaining in touch is through Facebook. So we've got a very active page on Facebook. So if you are a Facebook user, do search for the page by my name, Swami Mukundananda, and it's you get all the daily updates and daily quotations and various things. You'll get the link from our website as well. So that's another great way of remaining in touch. You can link up with us through Twitter and receive the tweets as well. So from various ways we try and make this knowledge available to you. And like I said, if you signed our guest book, we'll be sending you a weekly newsletter as well. Those who are regular members of our satsang group, I would like to briefly meet them after the program today. So I'd request them all to stay back for a short brief meeting. Alright, so we are now going to do the Aarti. So this Aarti is the ceremony of lamps. The sheets you have received, there is on the first page an Aarti of Radha Krishna. So we are going to have the Aarti ceremony, and after that there will be prasad distribution.